Hi everyone, Bernard here on behalf of MovieGameNostalgia.com, and we're having a look at this one today. Escape from Pretoria. There we go, he's come a long way from Harry Potter, hasn't he? He's a little bit different looking now. Yeah, we're going to have a look at Escape from Pretoria, which is out to buy from we do have a date of the 27th of April, but I've just been checking the thing and it's actually with no retail prices yet, so and we may have to confirm that from the 27th of April because it just looks as though for some reason it's not showing on the retail sites, even though I do have confirmation that it should be the 27th of April anyway. Obviously I do an out to buy vlog, so obviously if I've got any updates I'll let you know on there. But we're just going to have a review on Escape from Pretoria today anyway. Please, if you're new to the channel, please push the old subscribe button, that'll be fantastic. Push the old bell notifications there and make sure your notifications are set to public so you can get these things, and all thumbs ups are great, obviously. So it's nice to get views, isn't it? But it's always nice to get thumbs ups. It just shows that people are interested and you care. You know, it's nice. Anyway, Escape from Pretoria. Well, let's have a look. What is it? It's a thriller film, co-written and directed by Francis Annan, based on the real-life prison escape by 3 young political prisoners from jail in South Africa back in 1979. Starring Daniel Radcliffe, Daniel Webber. It's based on the 2003 book Inside Out, Escape from Pretoria Prison by Tim Jenkin, who was one of the escapees. It was actually filmed in Australia. It was actually filmed in Adelaide, South Australia in early 2019. Both on location in the city and suburbs. I mean, I'll go suburbs. I mean, I'll explain that a little bit more after. There's been a little bit of negativity about that, to be honest with you. And it was also filmed in the Glenside studios of the South Australian Film Corporation. Well, a bit of the background, a bit of the plot. It's obviously, as I said, it's based on the book by one of the escapees, Jenkin, Inside Out. The film tells a true life story of political prisoners, Jenkin, played by Radcliffe, and Stephen Lee, played by Webber, 2 white South Africans who, along with the other prisoners, hatched a plot to break out of Pretoria Central Prison in 1979 after being imprisoned on charges of producing and distributing 18 different pamphlets on behalf of the banned organisations, including the ANC, during the Apartheid era in South Africa. Some of the other political prisoners, including Dennis Goldberg, helped create and refine the details of the planned escape. And as mentioned, obviously we've got Daniel Radcliffe in this, Daniel Webber, and it also has Ian Hart as appearance, who's familiar certainly to British audiences, actually appears in it as well. The film was written and directed both by Francis Annan, and obviously, as stated, it's an Australia/UK co-production, although I would have thought mainly financed in Australia, to be honest with this one. And it commenced filming in Adelaide on March 2019, with some shots being shot at Mitcham railway station and others in the centre of the city. Jenkins spent some time in Adelaide advising Radcliffe on accent, another problem we'll go into, and other aspects of the film, as well as playing as an extra, playing a prison next to Radcliffe in the visiting room. Reception-wise, well, Rotten Tomatoes, obviously, has it done any good? I mean, it's got an actual Rotten Tomatoes rating of 71%, which is pretty good. So, I mean, that's sort of based on 34 ratings, and it's also got a Metascore rating of 5.6 out of 10. That's only based on 7 meta reviews or so, the critics reviews. An Internet Movie Database gives it 6.8 out of 10, which isn't a bad score. But looking through the reviews, I mean, there's a lot of negativity about the accents. Obviously the South African accents are far too over the top, apparently. Some of them obviously they're going to be way all over the place. I mean, if you're non-South African, we don't really know, do we? So there's a lot about that, but there's a lot of criticism the fact it was filmed in Australia. I mean, obviously there was probably logistics of filming in South Africa, etc. And obviously again with something based on a true story, it's not all the facts are probably correct, and the prison is, I believe the prison it's based on isn't the right prison and things like this. So there's a lot of criticism, certainly from South Africans, about the thing and why could they not have done a similar sort of thing. But it's all about financing and getting the film. So there is a lot of criticism about the In fact, it was shot in Australia. Well, there are some dodgy accents, etc., etc. But as I said, most of that criticism comes from what I can see South Africans. And I say, to get a 6.8 out of 10 on Internet Movie Database is not a bad score. Yeah, I've watched this. Some people are giving it 9s and 10s, and I mean, obviously, it's no Shawshank Redemption. Obviously, it's nothing, not a patch on that. And it's okay. It never quite really gets going. There's no real jeopardy. I mean, the actual, I expect with a prison film, certainly in a regime like South Africa at the time, I expect to the prisoners, the inmates, to be very badly treated. And there's a lot of verbal nastiness, but there was no real grit to it. I mean, perhaps there isn't. Perhaps in the South African prisons, obviously they were much not physically violent to the prisoners or anything like that, because there's very little of threat of violence to the. Obviously I'm used to watching prison films and there's mental torture and physical torture, obviously to inmates, etc. And obviously it was 79. It wasn't the time when even in the UK in 79, things were. Could turn nasty, in sort of police stations and prisons, etc. Things could get a bit mad, but it just seemed a bit weak. It just seemed a bit tame in this South African prison, and although obviously they're going to be, you can think about what Nelson Mandela apparently went through, etc. Obviously, perhaps the whites, because it was obviously whites, obviously the characters, perhaps the whites were treated differently, even though they were obviously sticking up for the ANC, etc. Perhaps they would still treat a little bit differently. I'm not sure. As I say, I have no factual information on South African prisons at that time, but the film doesn't really have much jeopardy. There's not real. You don't really feel sorry for the characters. There's no building of the characters. You don't have a chance to sort of either like any of the characters or care about them, what's going to happen to the characters, or care about whether they can manage these keys to escape from this prison. And it was all a bit wishy-washy for me. I mean, I certainly, if you give Shawshank Redemption a 9, I mean, this is going to be way, way, way below it. And I was a little bit. It is watchable. I'm not going to give it a less than 6 mark, because it is a watchable film. I just found it all a little bit mundane, to be honest with you. I mean, obviously, if you get to watch it, you let me know what you think. But I just thought it was all a little bit mundane and samey. And as a prison film, it was okay, but you just feel it's an hour and 46 minutes. I mean, again, a good prison film, you want 2 hours, don't you? You want to build the characters, you want to get to know them. So an hour and 46 minutes doesn't seem that much, but when you're not really told much, and it's all about getting the keys to get out through doors, etc. That's all it is, basically, getting keys to get out through doors. And obviously the ending was it was based on true life, and these guys, obviously, it comes up at the end what's happened to the guys now, what they did, I mean, etc., etc. But an hour and 46 minutes in this case was a bit long. I mean, they could have easily knocked 20 minutes off, because a lot of it was quite routine and didn't really grab me. And I'm not saying Radcliffe did a good job. I mean, there's nothing wrong or right apart from the accent. I don't know, but I mean, Radcliffe did an okay job. I've seen a couple of his films recently, and he's leaving Harry Potter behind, sort of. So yeah, I mean, I'm not going to criticise the actors. I just think the plot was a little bit tame. So that's Escape from Pretoria. It is due out on the 27th of April. I've not confirmed that yet, so please. If you go to if you try and order online at the moment, you can't. But obviously, I was told, so it could be delayed a little bit. But anyway, keep your eyes open for it if you're interested in it and you want to know the true story. As I said, some people did like it. Some people give it 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10s. But I certainly wouldn't go there. I'm going to give it a basic 6 out of 10, a watchable rating from my Bernard MGM movie game nostalgia rating. Anyway, if you watch it, let me know what you think. Anyway, so. Thanks for watching. Please follow me on Twitter for all the latest movie news and TV drama news. I've got a couple of accounts. You can follow me on either at Charles Dineen, Dineen spelt DINNN, or at nostalgia_movie. And I'm on Facebook at Bird Dineen with links to movieGameNostalgia.com, my little website for old rare DVDs, movie posters from the 90s and 2000s, and sort of retro board games, the old Parkers, Waddington sort of thing from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. So please, if you get a chance to have a look on MovieGameNostalgia.com, much appreciated. A thumbs up for you. Anyway, this is Bernard with this little review, Escape from Pretoria. Anyway, thanks for watching. Whatever you're going to do with the rest of your day, have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your family. And as I always say, let's all look after each other. And hopefully you can join me again for something very similar very soon. Thanks for watching. Bird is saying bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.